everybody, and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are going to be reflecting on the USA Grand Prix, the one in Austin, even though there's two other USA Grand Prix, but they're not known as that. But this one is the United States Grand Prix in Austin, and we got a lot to talk about. Some of which I will not want to speak about because it's to do with Ferrari and Charles Leclerc, and others is that we actually had a sort of race for the victory. So positives and negatives. Let's get into your reactions. Hello everyone, it's 1:23 in the morning, and this Funniest Tweets episode was recorded before Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton were disqualified from the United States Grand Prix. P1 to disqualification. I am dead inside. Leclerc's disaster. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's start with Charles Leclerc, shall we? And what a great race. What a fantastic race we saw from Charles Leclerc, starting on pole position, losing the lead almost immediately, and it all went downhill from there. At F1 Friends 2023. Oh, I'm sorry. Did my back hurt? Your knife. Leclerc, the Ferrari. So not only was Charles Leclerc having to combat the difficulties that were his Ferrari car just in general, but Ferrari also decided that a one-stop strategy was the way forward. Just for him, not for Carlos, for Charles Leclerc. In a car that is probably, I think the Haas is probably the worst car. It's difficult to say because the Haas is slow anyway, but they're also terrible on its tyres. Ferrari, we have known since the very beginning of the season that Ferrari chew through their tyres. So Ferrari went, you are going to stop once, Charles Leclerc, and you're going to stay out on the mediums for a very long time, and then out on the hards. One new stint of tyres. That went well, didn't it? P1 to P6. At Crystal Horner. The secret behind Ferrari's strategy names. Yeah, I actually forgot about this until I just looked at that meme again. 11 laps to go. Let's say 12, because we know that the team radio is slightly delayed for us when it actually gets fed to us. 12 laps to go, and Ferrari suggest Plan C or Plan D. Now, I don't know why there are still two plans left that involve pitting. Is one of them gambling for whether there's some sort of heavy rainstorm and they chuck him on wets for 11 laps? Because I don't know what they thought was possible. Charles Leclerc, you can actually hear in his voice that the sheer, it's kind of a mix of shock and disappointment in the fact that Ferrari have even suggested this strategy. He just goes back to them saying, no, that's going to ruin my race. And it would have. I think it would have put him behind Russell on track, which, I mean, to be fair, Charles only just about managed to stay in P6. One more lap and he would have lost that as well. But, I mean, Ferrari put themselves in that situation. They gave Charles a one-stop in the most chewable car for tyres. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean. It chews through its tyres. Look, I accepted going into this that a podium was probably not going to happen. Just clinging on to 6th, that's a bit too much. At L_Rushy. Ferrari started to reel off the alphabet of strategies again. I long for the day when we have Charles, Plan A. All looks good for Plan A. We're not checking. We're not doing any of that. We're not going to go run the numbers. Plan A. And you're going to win the race. When did that last happen? Australia 2022, maybe? Feels like a very long time ago. At Ticey46. Ferrari strategy guide. I want to know, right? I want to be a fly on the wall in a strategy meeting at Ferrari. I want to hear genuinely how many plans they have. Like, how many different options do they have going into a race? Does it end at F? Does it go all the way to L? Wouldn't be surprised. I need to know how many options there are going into a race, because you don't really hear other teams talking about so many different options of strategies. It's just, I'm still digesting the fact he started on pole and finished 6th, all right? Doesn't comprehend. At Soral_GRG, Leclerc pole, Max win. Not only that, but they swapped. Leclerc, P1, started. Max started in P6. Max finished in P1, Leclerc finished in P6. That pole to win ratio. I'm actually quite... I'm not looking forward to, in 20 years' time, people looking back at these seasons that maybe never watched Formula 1 and went, that Charles Leclerc, what a bottle job. You know, gets pole positioning, clearly a really quick car, but could only win 5 times, or however many he obviously ends up getting. I just feel like in the future it won't be regarded as what it actually is, which is putting a car that doesn't belong to be on pole most of the time on pole. That shouldn't be seen as a negative, and I know that's my fanboyism probably seemingly coming across, but I don't think it is. I think it is a genuinely good stat that Charles Leclerc has, as much as it doesn't sound very good. At Cursed Cupcake, Charles Leclerc's race, in a nutshell, at the COTA F1 GP. Sorry, Matt. You're not sorry. That's literally why you did a meme. You even put hashtag P1. You wanted to be featured, did you not? And one final one, because I can't be bothered to do any more Ferrari memes, at Phoebe_John04. Step 1, follow plan A. Step 2, ignore step 1. How to win races according to Ferrari. Oh dear. I don't know why I celebrate pole positions anymore. I don't know why. Why do I get so excited when Charles Leclerc pulls off a worldie and is on pole? When I know for a fact if Max Verstappen is in that race, it's not going to end well. Verstappen, come back. Let's talk about Max Verstappen now then, shall we? Some more positive, I suppose, in terms of result, the driving, the team, the car. Everything's a lot more positive when you look in the Red Bull side of the camp. At Jones_RF873. Only driver to win at COTA, not on the front row. Well, I saw a stat that it was like the last 10 years. I don't know if it's actually ever. Well, I guess, how long was COTA? I'm asking myself questions I don't have the answer to. But Max just looks at statistics. He looks at things that are supposed to be this way and goes, no, I'm going to win. Relentless. At Zoe's, Max Verstappen behind you is scarier than any horror movie. I can relate. I used to league race way back in the day. And whenever you knew there was someone that was quicker than you, that gets into the position behind you, that they're going to catch you. And it plays on your mind. You just know that they're coming. You see them in the mirrors. That's what Max Verstappen is. We all knew, even though he started 6th, even though he didn't have the fastest first stint ever, he still wasn't in the lead. We all knew deep down that somehow Max was going to win that race, didn't we? We did. We knew it. And that's what kind of, I guess, impacts some people's excitement for the race, even if Max doesn't have a great qualifying, which is very rare, is that we all know that he is going to extract every single last bit of that Red Bull and just pull off a worldie performance. You can't even deny it. The man had, like, brake problems, and he still won. I'd hate to think how far he would have finished ahead had his car been working to his liking. At Spooky for You too, GP after winning to Max. FU and Aussie Friday. Oh, I love that. I love their exchanges on the team radio. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, that seems almost like they don't like each other. But it's a friendship and a relationship that clearly goes so far, and they know each other so well that they're almost just like two bickering brothers that just say whatever they want until mum or dad tell them not to. That's basically what the radio comes across as. And of course, GP kept talking to Max in the braking zone, which he did not like. At the end, Lando seeing Max in P2, trying to take his first race win away from him. Oh, George. George is a very memeable guy sometimes, isn't he? And that's a great video. At Logan Webbling, Max to GP in every corner of the Grand Prix. I did wonder, like, has something gone wrong with their telemetry and their radars and everything that basically tells them where Max is on the track? Because it happened a few times. You would think after the first time and Max losing his mind at you over the radio, you'd go, I'm not going to do that again. But they did. So I don't know what's going on there. There must have been some sort of delay or issue with their radar to know where Max was on the track, because I don't know about you, but if I'm getting that radio back from Max the first time, I'm going to make sure that I don't do it again. At Agent 7X200, Verstappen hearing the boos after winning his 50th race. Look, it just it just, I'm not a fan of it. I know some people don't mind or whatever, don't mind the pantomime of it. I know some people feel very strongly about it. I'm more along that side in the sense of it's just not worth it. There were some people saying that there was booing of another person on the podium and whatnot, but it did seem very directed at Max as well at times. That it was more than one occasion whilst on the podium. So there was clearly some booing. There was chanting of Checo. I don't really get the booing around, from Checo fans, if that is what was happening, because Max didn't give him a place in Brazil, or but he's just been trouncing him this year. Like, I don't know where the massive saltiness has come from, but either or, I'm not a fan of it. The guy's just hit 50 wins, which is an unbelievable achievement. 26 years old, 50 wins, 94 podiums. This man is going to smash every record known to man at this rate. It depends how good the Red Bull is going to be for however many years. But he deserved better than what he got on the podium. At Omar R. Pepper, the Verstappen podcast got an unexpected twist. Lewis proposed to him. Now, that would be a massive spanner in the works, wouldn't it? After everything that's gone on, you know what? Lewis is like, it's water under the bridge, mate. Me and you, Max, we're the one. We're together now. But that is quite a cool and funny screenshot. So well done, Omar. That would change the cool-down room massively if that's the kind of stuff that would go on. But no, they seem quite amicable, the three of them, having a chat, talking about the race, talking about tyres, all the stuff that Formula One racers do. And yeah, congratulations to Lewis and Max. Honourable mentions. Okay, we're on to the part of the show where there's just random memes that don't really fit in a segment. So here we go. At Viber_Fleischer. By Stuart Gasly. I do love a bit of snitching from the drivers. It is quite funny. It's like, extended their second time. Yeah, what are the stewards doing? And this, that, and the other. And they do love reporting on their fellow classmates, don't they, the drivers? And I don't know how much it actually helps. I know the stewards do sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed, so maybe it does. And perhaps actually saying a certain corner on a certain lap can then sort of indicate to the stewards quicker as to what's gone on. But I feel like there was definitely some track limits that we're getting away with. And I'm just so sick of talking about it. Like, it's such a boring subject now. I've said it on the podcast, but I'll say it here as well if you haven't listened to it, where I was a fan of having this track limits, the white line. That's it. It's a standard everywhere. Now I'm just like, I'm so bored of talking about it because it just takes away a little bit of that edge and the excitement. It's like, they've done a lap. Oh, the lap's been deleted. Obviously, we had an exciting race today because Max Verstappen, who's been dominating, had his lap deleted, but doesn't usually happen, and it's happened to many other drivers. And I just feel like it needs to go back to, as long as it's not ridiculous, do what you want. Like, maybe that's the way forward for Formula One, so we stop talking about this. If you can find a small margin to gain somewhere off an exit curb, do it, as long as it's not how IndyCar did the second to last corner in Austin. That was a little bit too far. But then how do you measure where's too far? I guess the white line. I don't know. It's a very difficult topic of discussion. At OKI Pull Up 11, Aston and Haas upgrades. Oh dear. I mean, Aston, they used all their wind tunnel time at the start of the year, didn't they? They were like, we need a W. They didn't get one. They were close. And now they've just run out of currency. That's it. They've got nothing left. They are like Ian Beale on EastEnders, which is a very niche reference, which I'm probably sure 97% of you won't have a clue what I mean. And then there's Haas. Haas, this was this big upgrade. And we thought in Q1 when Hulkenberg went fastest, are Haas now championship contenders? We didn't think that. But we thought maybe Q3. But no, the upgrade didn't work at all, really. So Haas still rather largely washed. At Olali7, what was wrong with the TV direction this weekend? Missing all the action. I know, right? I feel like we haven't complained about the F1 TV direction recently because it has been pretty good. They've used the small little camera boxes in the leaderboard standing. It's late, I'm sorry, words aren't working. You know what I mean? They used the little mini boxes and some of it's been pretty good. But this weekend, I don't know what they were really doing or thinking. Maybe they had an apprentice that was going, this one now this one. But they seem to choose the wrong battles at the wrong time. Like for me, and maybe this is just personal preference, let me know in the comments what you feel or how you felt about the F1 TV direction this weekend. But for me, if it's like 8 tenths and below, I want to see the battle for the lead, just in case there's a lockup or whatever. And especially because we haven't really seen a battle for the lead much this year. So it's quite an exciting thing for Lando or whoever, or Hamilton, or whatever, to be close to Verstappen. I want to see that. I don't want to see Piastri getting mugged in the midfield in a sprint race. It just felt like it was a little bit off and they weren't focusing on the right things at the right times. And it was annoying. It was annoying, I won't lie. At Garage 13, top 4, not changing much. Oh, they loved that on the TV broadcast. Action on track was getting some of the attention. And then Alonso going P16 to P9. I don't think it was P16. I think it was P17, 18, 19. No, I'm pretty sure it was lower than that. So either or, Alonso did great things and we didn't see hardly any of it. At Raish has his new upgrade looking fire. Oh, I was so excited for this Hulkenberg-Magnussen pairing that, well, more for the Hulkenberg side of things, but it just seemed like they had experience in the two drivers and they'd be able to push the team forward. But they just haven't been able to do much this year. They've had the odd occasion where we get quite excited. Hulkenberg making it to Q3 or some sensational qualifying like Canada, for example. But this pairing hasn't pushed the team forward like I thought they would. At JV Toshin, past me would be flabbergasted, frankly. 2023 me explained to 2020 me how and why I came to hope for a Hamilton win just for the variety. I feel exactly the same. I can't believe only 3 years later, we are now like, oh my God, another Verstappen win. Do you not remember? If you're a Hamilton fan, obviously you probably weren't rooting for Verstappen to win. But if you're any other driver fan, you were probably hoping, oh, it'd be amazing if Verstappen could win a race. Oh, you know, he won one at Mexico or Abu Dhabi or whatever. And we're absolutely like, oh my God, Formula One, it's changing. And now Red Bull are absolutely just wiping the floor with the rest of the field. And we're praying for Hamilton to start winning again. It's mad how times can change very quickly. At Joe Gamer 6P, Ocon having bad luck. Yeah, oh, Ocon. You know, at least he didn't get a 5-second penalty. That's something to, you know, Ocon fans, you can be happy that he didn't get one of those. But yeah, Esty Besties not having the best run of form in terms of luck this year, and Alpine looked good. Alpine looked pretty good this weekend, and it's such a shame that Ocon couldn't capitalise on that. At Ahmed Bakbar, Sergio Perez has a lot to think about. Yep, happy to finish in the top 5, but now Lewis Hamilton is 19 points behind Sergio Perez. It's going to happen, isn't it? Like, Perez, sure, finishing in the top 5, but Verstappen won again. He was so much better at the start of the year, and obviously there's been reports that Perez wants a B-spec car and he wants things to be different and fine, like it doesn't suit his driving style at the moment. But I genuinely think Hamilton's going to get P2 in the championship now. It seems that way. It seems inevitable, just like Verstappen winning. Like Perez just, okay, he was a little bit better this weekend, but by no means anything that we should write home about. And Hamilton finished P2. Is that in his contract for Perez to finish P2 in the championship or bye-bye? Only time will tell. Right, it's my favourite time of the week. It's Tommy's Tasty Tweets, sponsored by EA and F123. Tommy, who is winning a copy of F123 this week?
The winner is Rosiaki for this wonderful tweet. Are you braking, son? Which is obviously a response to how Red Bull just loved speaking to Max in the braking zone, and he wasn't happy about it.
And they just wanted to know. They were just being like a father. Are you braking, son? Like, it's a beautiful meme. Well done to whatever you said as the name of the pronunciation. I don't actually have it in front of me, but I've seen the meme. It's fantastic. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you to everybody that submitted, and enjoy your copy of F123. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the funniest tweets to the 2023 United States Grand Prix in Austin. Thank you so much for using hashtag P1 and for being involved in this series. As always, a big shout out to EA as well and F123 for sponsoring the Tommy's Tasty Tweet segment. And you can win potentially an amazing copy of F123 if you win that. So hashtag P1 for this weekend coming. Mexico, we've got lots more content coming your way. Live show as well. Get ready. Announcement next Wednesday. But just put it in your diary. 3rd of December, Manchester. 5th of December, Glasgow. 10th of December, London. All right? Just pencil it in. Say, I'm off. I'm going to that. All right? Book me a little ticket for Christmas. Either or. I'll see you very soon. Bye!